Tom Jones syndrome.
Is that common?
It's not unusual.
Oh, God, what did we just do?
I quit. Paul will be hosting the show today. The two of you. Oh, great. Now we have the song.
No, we have Eric playing the
Eric behind the glass here. Now we're going to get the songs.
All right.
All right.
Should we cut? Welcome to the nation's longest running and worst produced.
And least listened to now because of Jimmy Tags and Paul, please.
Radio show.
Just put the camera on me so I can try to get this thing back on track here. Week 7, thank you, college football. Let me get the number out there, 888-366-3733 for all of you left listening, 888-366-3733. Well, here it is, Week 7 college football, Week 6 pro football, lots of games to talk about. And to get serious here, Paul's brought it back once again. The free weekend pass is back. I mean, the demand for it and the response to it has been overwhelming. I think we've done it. This is our 7th college show. I think we've done it 5 of the 7 now weeks.
Yeah, this will be the 5th time.
Yeah, 5th. Oh, this is the 5th time we're doing it. So it's been unbelievable. You get 3 college games today, you get 3 pro games tomorrow, and you get Monday night. So it's like Paul said. It's like getting the pizza. What did you say?
I said it's like the weekend 6-pack and the Monday night pizza.
That's it. It's the weekend 6-pack and the Monday night pizza. 3 games today, 3 games tomorrow, and Monday night. The free weekend pass, and it's available to all callers. All you got to do is dial 888-366-3733, 888-366-3733. Well, Damon, what are my 3 games today going to be? Well, how about this? How about Oklahoma, Texas? Because that's probably the biggest game on the board. Red River rivalry, and that's on there. So, yeah, I mean, come on. There's no reason not to call if you want that game. It's the highest profile game on the board. Paul and the team have broken it down. They've been on this game the last couple of years. I mean, no one has been on this game, this matchup, more than Paul and his team. Oklahoma, Texas, that goes today. That's game number 1. USC, Notre Dame. How about that matchup? That game, that's number 2.
Another rating bonanza, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And Penn State, Iowa. And, funny things always happen in Iowa when you play at night there. So don't be so sold that you think you know what's going to happen in that game as well. Penn State, Iowa, that's on there. So 3 absolute big, huge college winners today. Oklahoma, Texas, USC, Notre Dame, Penn State, Iowa. Paul Nolan couldn't have 3 bigger games for your free weekend pass to kick it off here today.
No question about it. No doubt about it. And then what's great about the weekend pass is the guys who call Saturday, and the listenership on Saturdays is bigger, and then Sunday mornings, a lot of people are home resting. At least they don't have to call in again. They don't have to call in and get the games back-to-back days. And more importantly than that is, you get the lines at a better value. When we give out our games on a Saturday for the NFL, those lines move every single time. So when you call in today, get the college games, but also get Cincinnati, Baltimore, Houston, KC, which is a home run. Love that game. And then we have the Eagles, Vikings, and then we're going to lob on a little special, Damon. Damon is 2-0 on the year, right? And you absolutely love your best bet, Niners and Rams.
This is a crush job. San Francisco and L.A., I'm calling it my crush game of the year. I could have called it double-digit winner. I could have called it a lot of things. But I love this matchup in pro football, and Paul's going to let me release it to all the callers this week. Jimmy Tags, I'm going to bring you in here. My crush job game, San Francisco, L.A. goes. And I know you love some things today as much as I love that game tomorrow.
Well, folks, it's time to give a call. Listen, the beauty of this weekend pass, especially for us, our clients back on the East Coast, is you get the whole weekend. Just make sure you get your wristlet because you can ride the Cyclone to Coney Island for the rest of the weekend as well. And more importantly, listen, what... Kidding around here. We're having a good time this morning, that's for sure.
Well, winning breeds happiness.
Yeah, I guess so.
If we had lost last week, we were like, screw you.
Yeah, no long faces here.
And a very pleasant good morning. It is 6 minutes after the hour. Welcome to our Facebook viewers there. Thank you so much for your support. And those Biz Talk Radio, by the way, last week's show can be heard right now on Biz Talk Radio. If you missed the show, John, last week, wherever you were here, but we're not sure you really were here. You can also tune into Biz Talk Radio, catch last week's show. And this, of course, a live show on Facebook Live. John, a retort?
Well, I was here, but
I'm sorry. There's your mic. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was here, but at my age, I forget.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back and listen to it just to see what I was saying.
Is that like sitting in the back of a car facing the other way so you can see where you've been?
Exactly right.
Have you done that in a while?
In a station wagon?
Yeah.
Well, those old do they still make those?
No.
Those old station wagons had the seat that would in the very back that would face backwards.
See, I always got car sick if I did that.
Oh, I loved it.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah, it was
No,
fun.
I always got sick.
Yeah.
You got sick, really?
Yeah. And then wasn't that just scary? Like you're just watching these cars come at you and everything. I just remember that being number one, I would get sick, and number two, it was really scary.
Now, did you have maybe this was before your time, did you guys ever have a country Squire?
No.
It's an old station wagon with the wood panels.
We weren't royalty like you.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Country Squire. People know what I'm talking about. Those old cars with the wood on the side, the station wagons, and then after several years, the wood got all dried out and looked terrible.
It's awesome.
I remember an old Burns and Allen routine where Gracie was telling George that her brother got up in the morning, put his pants on backwards, and was walking down the street and got hit by a truck because the truck driver couldn't tell whether he was coming or going. George goes, "Well, I can't believe he would hit him." And Gracie goes, "Well, he didn't know he was my brother."
That's some pretty good stuff. Great writing. Hey, welcome to your garden show. This is Garden America, your garden buddies, I should say. Raring to go. Questions, comments, right there, Facebook Live. Post them. You can talk to each other. Make a comment, ask a question. We've got a guest lined up today, obviously, Tiger, right?
Yeah, we're going to be talking natives, and, natives in general, but mostly California natives, with Sue Cross with Moosa Creek Nursery.
So these would be plants indigenous to California?
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
At least...
Endemic is the word.
Endemic?
They think they are.
I like indigenous. I like that word.
Some are endemic. Endemic, I think, means that it's not only native, but it's only found in that area.
Oh, okay. That would take it one step further then.
Right.
Right. So it is
Kind of like
endemic.
a Torrey pine.
Yeah,
Yes.
like Torrey pines.
Only in one spot.
Exactly.
And it's
Right.
from here kind of a thing.
Exactly.
Usually, most plants that are endemic are on islands.
Yeah,
Because
right.
that way they're, separated
Right. Sure.
from other plant life.
Everybody else and everything else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, John, your week consisted of what? People always, all week long, I get emails. What's John doing?
Picking things up. You
Yeah?
know, we've had a lot of wind. Santa Ana's.
Yeah.
Yesterday in Fallbrook, the humidity was 2%.
Wow. Things drying out, are they?
They're drying out, but you know what surprises me is obviously I have a few roses over there. The mildew that's starting, and you would think with 2% humidity, you're not going to have any mildew.
So what's that about?
But we've been having really cool nights.
Yeah, that's true.
And last week, the humidity was really high with cooler temperatures. So mostly the old garden roses.
Now, I wonder this. If with mildew, does dry, hot air solve the problem? Or is because it's a fungal thing, it'll always be there unless you do something to get rid of it? Like, does dry, hot air kill mildew?
It stops it from spreading.
But it's there.
But it's there.
Right. And it's not like it'll rid it. It just stops it from growing and developing into more.
Right.
I wondered that because, you always tell people keep your plants, dry,
Right.
good airflow, good sunlight to prevent it. But that I didn't think because it's like a disease, like it wouldn't just cure it, kind of.
So you're saying it would just, whatever damage is there, and it would stop it from spreading.
Well, actually, if you spray rose leaves with water, that helps control mildew.
Really?
Yeah, it washes it off. But you've got to do it in the morning.
At the right time.
Not at night. You don't want to keep the leaves wet all night. But you can hose them off. I haven't sprayed my roses once this entire year. And
For anything?
For anything. And they all look pretty good.
I didn't either, and they look good. They're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had red leaves on yours.
Mm-hmm.
That's because of the weather this time of the year.
Yeah,
and
I
they
love
can't
that.
process certain nutrients.
I love that coloration.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The red.
Yeah. We have a rose in the auction. By the way, we should let our listeners know that the auction is coming up November 16th in Oceanside.
Mm-hmm.
and that's the 19th annual Save the Roses auction.
Wow, 19 years.
Yeah, over 200 roses are going to be offered, and out of the 200, probably 80% cannot be bought anywhere else except at the auction.
Anywhere else in the world?
In the U.S.
Okay, the U.S., that's good.
Yeah.
Now, we should also
haven't
mention,
had time to check the world.
for those that don't live in San Diego, there's also a silent auction which you can take part in, right?
Yeah,
this year online?
Right.
You can go online starting next week, I believe, and you can put in bids. And if you win, we'll ship the roses.
Yeah, you're notified and we'll ship
anywhere in the
them.
country, right?
So what new roses this year that we haven't seen before? What are you excited about?
There's a couple roses. One is Sunrise Sunset, which I mentioned before on air that I looked for 15 years, and we thought it might be extinct, and we finally found one, and it was just by accident. And then there's another rose that I've been trying to identify for about the same period of time. It's a florist rose called Antoinette, and I think those are going to be the two rarest ones in the auction.
And how many are we auctioning off live this year? 40, 44?
Same as last year. Exact same number. 40,
Okay.
44, I think.
44.
Yeah.
And again, that is, you said November 16th?
November 16th and 17th. I think the actual auction is on Sunday, whichever day that is.
Would be the 17th, then I would imagine, right?
The day before is a series of lectures from noted rosarians around the country that will go through and tell you about each and every rose in the auction. So even if you don't want to bid on roses or buy any roses, it's free to come the day before.
It's a fun place to hang out.
And to learn about them. Yeah, I know that sometimes weeks before the auction, you'll just go there and stand there and think about it.
I knock on the door, nobody answers. They tell me to get out. But I'm persistent. So
anyway, all the money from the auction goes towards saving rare and endangered roses. That's it.
Okay, I just didn't know if this dead air was sponsored or not.
No, not sponsored.
Not by the Rose.
Not by anybody, right? Save the Rose Society.
Have you bought your airline tickets yet for?
No, heck no, because I want to make sure we go with you and plan all that out. No, we have to get together on that.
I was looking at tickets, and it's very complicated to get from San Diego to Ljubljana, which is the capital of Slovenia.
Wouldn't we stop in New York first?
Probably New York, and then you have to have another European stop. And there's Paris and Frankfurt are the two. But I found a ticket from New York to Paris for $366.
Wow.
But I never heard of the airline.
Yeah, you know what? Got to be careful there.
So I don't know. But then once you're over there, the tickets from, like if you go from Paris to Ljubljana, it's like $150.
So it's just we get to New York and then from New York figure it out from there, you think?
I think so.
Okay.
Some people, my brother and his wife are going from Toronto. Actually, my sister and her husband are going from Toronto. But my brother's going from Detroit.
You're going from Toronto, John?
The Maple Leafs, right. He's my brother's going to go from Detroit, and he's going from Detroit to New York, and then New York to France.
Okay. So, yeah, I know, because we've had some people with questions about that. So now's the time to look into that.
You know what? I'm going to be, over the next week, I'll be trying to settle on the flights that I'm going to take. And I've had a few listeners that are going with us ask me about it, and I'll share the details with them.
Because I always depend on you to be our travel agent for these trips. So just let us know where to be, where to show up, what airline, we're there. And we're going to go a day or two early so we can kind of relax and to get settled.
Yeah, I think that we're going to go Friday the 29th.
Just let me know.
I'm not sure.
Let me know where to be.
Just let me know where to be.
He is really good about the planning, but then actually executing and getting through the airports.
Another thing.
Oh,
yeah.
I never would have made it to England if it wasn't for Tiger.
He always requests to be frisked too at the at the airport. He says, "Sir, that's not necessary." And he says, "No, it is. Yeah, please." Hey, that said, we're going to come up to a break. We're going to come back with John's quote of the week. Our guest is standing by, It is 16 minutes after the hour. Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. Hey, welcome. Thank you for supporting us there. Those that are here on Facebook Live, we do appreciate it. And again, last week's show heard live right now on Biz Talk Radio. Garden America taking a break, coming right back. Stay with us.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Hi, this is Bryan Main inviting you to join me along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases including Zika and West Nile virus, but Summit Mosquito Dunks kill mosquitoes before they're old enough to bite. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, or wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers, hardware stores, and online retailers. Visit SummitResponsibleSolutions.com.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Are you a hands-on guy who wants new skills and a real career? Enroll in Summit College at El Cajon for welding, HVAC, or electrical training. Learn from industry-experienced instructors on real-world equipment. Day and evening classes and full or part-time options give you flexibility to succeed. Get the training and job placement assistance you need to become a skilled tradesman. Your new, rewarding career begins at Summit College. Schedule a tour today at summitcollege.edu. That's summitcollege.edu.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Hi, this is Bryan Main inviting you to join me along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com. And welcome back. It is Garden America. Happy weekend to you. Thank you for those on Facebook for joining us. Thank you for the comments so far. Very clever, funny people out there, which we do appreciate. And, of course, Biz Talk Radio, if you missed last week's show, it is being played right now. You can catch that. And, of course, I do want to mention our YouTube channel, Garden America Radio. Do go to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe, trying to get us up to 1,000 subscribers. You can watch any and all shows, previous podcasts. It's all right up there on our YouTube channel. John, the quote of the week, we're going to get rolling here on this Saturday.
All right. Everybody on Facebook just left. You told them to go listen to the radio. They could hear it right now. And
No, we get two choices. Last week's show or live right here on Facebook.
Okay. The quote of the week is from Nathaniel Hawthorne.
Oh, Nate.
Yeah, the Scarlet Letter.
Yeah.
House of Seven Gables, right?
There were Seven Gables.
Yeah.
There were.
Anyway, he said, "Last night there came a frost, which has done great damage to my garden. It's sad that nature will play such tricks on us poor mortals, inviting us with sunny smiles to confide in her, and then, when we are entirely within her power, striking us to the heart."
What do you derive out of that?
Well,
how frustrating gardening can be sometimes?
Especially when I was in Michigan,
true,
because
right?
This is the time of year where if you haven't had a killing frost, it's going to come really quickly. But you have, what's referred to as Indian summer.
Right.
In the fall, the weather is really warm and it looks like you're going into spring or something.
Then you
on
get
some
whacked.
days, and then all of a sudden one night everything's dead.
Overnight.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, and in your garden, if you're growing tomatoes and peppers and squash and things like that, everything just freezes solid, and that's it.
So welcome to sunny California, John.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way,
go ahead.
I just wanted to quickly mention that we mentioned, what was the book? The Scarlet Letter
Scarlet
that
Letter.
he wrote.
Mm-hmm.
There's a red rose that I have at my house called Hester Prynne. And Hester Prynne was, of course, the main character that wore this Scarlet Letter.
Oh, you're just involved in everything.
It's a nice rose. I like it.
There, huh?
All right, Tiger, we've got a great guest lined up.
Yeah, and talking about when you are a gardener and you have these frosts and things, imagine being a grower or a farmer. And so this morning we have with us Sue Krause with Moosa Creek Nursery. And she's a native plant grower down here in Southern California. Sue, good morning.
Good morning. I'm happy to be talking with you. And that quote really is so pertinent. And I feel like nature in so many ways keeps us humble.
Yes,
that's true.
And I mean, we're talking about from a gardener home perspective as far as, you lose a tomato plant or you have some trouble with this because of some frost. I mean, but Sue, you have, tons of inventory of plants that, you grow them outside because you're a native plant grower. You try to harden them off. You try to not baby them as much as possible, like some growers that maybe grow them in a greenhouse under ideal environments. And you have to leave them out there in these elements out there where your nursery is, and I'm sure you have to deal with that, right?
Yeah. But we're fortunate that many of the natives are very hardy to frost, so that's helpful. But our nursery is located in a small microclimate where we do experience nighttime frosts in the winter quite frequently. Most native growers are sensible enough to locate near the coast where they doesn't experience that. But it is what we've got, and so we deal with it. And we do feel that our plants are super hardy.
Yeah, they definitely.
Of course,
yeah, they definitely arrive at a nursery better.
Of great weather forecasts and frost cloth. So those are my saviors.
Yeah. Hey, Sue, tell us a little bit about yourself and Moosa Creek Nursery for our listeners who aren't familiar with it.
Yeah, with pleasure. So Moosa Creek Nursery was started back in 2003 with no giant plan. It was more of growing for our own needs, where we had built a home in a beautiful location in North San Diego County, and we wanted native plants. And it just snowballed from there. I, of course, you might notice from a slight accent, grew up in England and had very little knowledge and have had to learn everything by trial and error. But it's been a wonderful experience. Moosa Creek Nursery grows over 400 species of California native plants and their cultivars. And we actually service three real main market sectors. So we grow plants for restoration and mitigation for habitat. We grow plants for landscapers, commercial landscapers, and then we have a system whereby we can serve homeowners by partnering with retail nurseries, and that's where many of the cultivars that we grow goes for home gardeners to wonderful nurseries, independent garden centers throughout San Diego, Fallbrook, Riverside, and Los Angeles.
Yeah, and let me break in there real quick, because for our listeners, this is a really neat way that Moosa Creek handles this, is that basically you can go online to their website, which, Sue, is just moosacreeknursery.com, or what is the website?
That's the website.
Yeah, so you just go to Moosa, Moosa, creeknursery.com, and you can go and check their availability for whatever native plants they have, and you can actually purchase them online and then get them shipped directly to your local independent garden center, whichever one's closest to you that they work with, and you just pick them up right from there. So
wow, convenient.
You know, it takes the guesswork out of, oh, if I show up, are they going to have this plant?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the natives are unique and rare. So it's not too common that they have a large selection of natives at a retail garden center. So what a great way to do that. You know, I think that's just phenomenal, Sue.
Yeah, and we are visiting these retail partners every week, stocking their tables with, a selection of easy-to-grow natives. And as you say, then the homeowners can access any of the 400 species that we're growing by placing a special order online, and they only have to wait a week to get those plants, and they don't pay for them until they pick them up at the retail nursery. So there's very little risk involved, and we grow about 40 rare and endangered species, and so those are typically not available at your regular nursery. But these high-quality independent garden centers that we partner with obviously can then access any of the species that we grow.
Hey, Sue, we got to take a break, and then when we get back, we'll start talking about what you do with those natives once you have them.
Okay, fantastic. You're going to get back with Sue, Moosa Creek Nursery here on Garden America. Questions, comments? I see more people checking in on Facebook Live, so that's a great place to post your question or your comment. You can also email us, john@gardenamerica.com. I'm Bryan Main Target Palafox, John Bagnasco. Saturday morning here, Garden America. Going to step aside, take a break, coming right back.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Are you a hands-on guy who wants new skills and a real career? Enroll in Summit College at El Cajon for welding, HVAC, or electrical training. Learn from industry-experienced instructors on real-world equipment. Day and evening classes and full or part-time options give you flexibility to succeed. Get the training and job placement assistance you need to become a skilled tradesman. Your new, rewarding career begins at Summit College. Schedule a tour today at summitcollege.edu. That's summitcollege.edu.
Hi, this is Bryan, Maine, inviting you to join me, along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox, for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases including Zika and West Nile virus, but Summit Mosquito Dunks kill mosquitoes before they're old enough to bite. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, or wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers, hardware stores, and online retailers. Visit SummitResponsibleSolutions.com.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Hi, this is Bryan, Maine, inviting you to join me, along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox, for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases including Zika and West Nile virus, but Summit Mosquito Dunks kill mosquitoes before they're old enough to bite. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, or wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers, hardware stores, and online retailers. Visit SummitResponsibleSolutions.com.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Back here with Garden America, 35 minutes after the hour. A lot of people joining us on Facebook Live. We do want to welcome you. And again, any questions for our guest or one of us here, post them right there on Facebook. We will get to them just as soon as possible. I want to welcome Scott checking in from Pennsylvania, and the rest of you across the country. Tiger, great interview so far, learning a lot.
Yeah, so we're having a lot of fun this morning with Sue Krause and Moosa Creek Nursery. And we're talking about her native plant nursery that's located down here in Southern California. But we're going to now move the conversation to natives, kind of no matter where you're at.
You know, we did have a question on Facebook. Somebody wanted to know if she sold plants to Buena Creek Nursery.
Sue, did you hear that? Do you guys sell out of Buena Creek Nursery?
We don't have a partnership, so we're not there regularly, but they come by from time to time to stock up on their native plant selection, and so they can access plants for you.
Okay. So, yeah, it doesn't seem like they have a regular inventory, but maybe if you ask them, they might be coming in and getting some material. So,
you know, I also wanted to let our listeners know we were talking about Sue's website, and she has a blog on there that is always loaded with great information. And the latest thing on there is about rare and endangered California natives.
Yeah.
So I saw a few plants, since I have a rare and endangered home now.
That's for sure.
That I think that I'm going to put a few of those.
Yeah.
know?
It's always fun when you can incorporate something unique in the garden, and especially if it's native and it is rare or endangered. You know, it's you know, something that's always fun. But Sue, right now we're getting into the fall, and I know when we walk out there today, we don't feel it because it's 80 degrees and hot and dry and windy. But this is the time of year when people want to start thinking about planting natives. If you are on the west, in the south, west, you know, kind of a thing where, you know, this is the time of year when the weather cools off, you get some rainfall, that natives get established. What are some things that people need to consider when they're planning to plant natives?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Tiger. The soil is cooling down. The soil temps are going down. The days are shorter, so that the heat of the day is shorter, cooler nights. This is an ideal time to start getting ready to plant natives. So, you know, the key things, and it's not really restricted just to natives in Southern California, but in general, in gardening, you really want to observe your space and plan ahead. I always recommend use the hot summer months for doing your planning. So you want to be looking at your soil type so that you can select plants that are suitable for your soil type, and planning your irrigation. And then go to plant selection and select plants that will do well in your soil and share the same requirements for any irrigation that you have. So you should now be planning your irrigation, and it's a great time to start planting. You really benefit from the cooler soil. When you plant, I really highly recommend that you water the entire area very, very well, very deeply, 2 or 3 days before you actually plan on planting. Get the soil that you're planting into really nice and wet deep down. This encourages roots deep down and really gets your plants a good start.
Yeah, and along that issue, Sue, when people water the whole area, you know, a lot of times when you buy a plant, it has this root ball, and if you don't saturate the area, that root ball actually doesn't wick moisture well sometimes from the surrounding soil, and then therefore the plant dries out even though you're watering. So when you water an area well, you know that soil is damp, and you know that when you do water, it's going to go into that root ball, right?
Yes, yeah. So you really can't water a native plant too much on planting day. There's two reasons why I like to water the entire area well before planting. One is it really improves the general soil health, and all the different microbial elements of the soil really benefit from it to get a really good healthy soil. And secondly, it does enable those roots to really start going down deep. So I water the whole area well before planting. Then I suggest digging the holes and filling them with water and allowing that to drain out. That way you know that you've got the water really deep down, ready for that plant. And also you soften the soil a little bit so that those roots can easily start establishing down deep. And so, again, even though these are drought-tolerant, for the most part, native plants, you cannot overwater them on planting day.
And
after I've dug the hole and filled it with water and allowed it to drain, I plant and backfill the hole, and then I water again lavishly. And that really gets a plant really well established.
yeah, and then by filling the hole in with water before you even plant it also shows you how well that area drains, because, you know, I've been out there digging sometimes and I'll do that, and that water doesn't drain for a day or so, and then I have to think about, okay, well, if I put my plant in here and it never drains, you know, this could end up rotting out my new plant or anything. So then I might turn to something like the John and Bob's, you know, soil optimizer, the Natural Guard Humate product to help with drainage. There's the Penetrate product, I think, still by John and Bob's as well for busting up clay. So, you know, but when you kind of just plant and then water, you don't always see how well that hole is draining. So that's a really good tip, is that fill the hole with water before you even put the plant in there.
Yeah, and you might even, as you plan your area, you might even dig a hole ahead of time, test the drainage, test what kind of soil you have. Then you can get prepared for those additional products, or, you know, certainly selecting a plant that will be suitable for either your clay or your well-draining soil.
Hey, so one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they do all of that planning, all that planting, all that work, and, you know, and then months maybe go by and now they're into December and January, but plants begin to get die because of overwatering. Then, you know, so what are your recommendations for after the planting? What's kind of like a 1 month, 2 month, 3 month kind of a plan, do you think, for people that are trying to do a native garden?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, by planting in the fall, of course, we may be fortunate enough to catch some rain.
Right.
And so in an ideal situation, a really heavy watering on planting day, as we've discussed. And then, you know, there may be some rain events, and those are just ideal. So there have been many situations where clients have been able to water their plants in well, and then just rely on winter rains for establishment through the cool weather. But bearing in mind that these plants are grown in pots in the nursery, and so in the containers, they're used to getting watered maybe every third or fourth day. So first week or two, it's ideal to give them some deep watering every 3 to 5 days. And I really recommend that the watering is deep and allowing a dry cycle between the waterings. And the very best way to do that is just to dig down 3 or 4 inches below the surface next to the root ball when you feel it's ready time to water, and just check if that soil is still damp. Don't water. If it's dry already, then it's time to water. So you really want to just bear in mind that watering should be deep and with a dry cycle in between.
Yeah, that's really important.
And then gradually increase that period of the dry cycle. And if the plants are planted in the fall, then most of those plants are going to be pretty well established by the time the rains stop and the weather heats up. So by summertime, you should not really be needing to water those plants more than once every 2 to 3 weeks. And during the summer, the watering should adjust a little bit so that you're really just using the water to cool off the plants and the top layer of soil, just to cool the soils down.
Hey, Sue, before you keep going too deep in there, we're going to have to take a commercial break again right now. When we get back, we'll continue talking about, watering the natives through the summer months. And then I have a California poppy question that I have for you. So when we get back, we'll get to those.
Outstanding. Sue, stay with us. And for the rest of you, a great time. You betcha. Posting your questions on Facebook, comments, talking about natives, Moosa Creek Nursery with Sue. Stay with us. I'm Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, Garden America. Happy weekend, happy Saturday. Thank you for joining us as Garden America continues on Biz Talk Radio and Facebook Live.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Hi, this is Bryan Main inviting you to join me along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com. Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases including Zika and West Nile virus, but Summit mosquito dunks kill mosquitoes before they're old enough to bite. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, or wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers, hardware stores, and online retailers. Visit SummitResponsibleSolutions.com.
For those of you still living under a rock, I'll let you know a second season of the Ron Burgundy Podcast is here right now. That's right, new guests, new stories, and a new sponsor. Coors Light Beer is coming on board this runaway train, and not a second too late. So settle in with the chillest beer I know, Coors Light, and take some time out of your day to just enjoy being in the moment and listening to Season 2 of the Ron Burgundy Podcast. Celebrate responsibly. 2019 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Hey, my name is Thursday.
Hey, Thursday.
Yeah, I go right between Wednesday and, of course, Friday. There are a lot of great things about Thursdays that I can't think of right now. But to a lot of people, I'm definitely the favorite because a 6-inch Italian BMT is just $3.99 every Thursday at Subway restaurants. It's the sub of the day, and it's a different 6-inch sub each day for $3.99. So, in conclusion, Thursday, Italian BMT, best day ever. Subway, make it what you want. At participating restaurants, additional charge for extras plus pickable tax. No additional discounts or coupons may be applied.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
And we're looking at 51 minutes after the hour. Final segment, hour number 1 here on Facebook Live and, of course, the replay on Biz Talk Radio. Thank you for joining us, broadcasting live from the iHeartMedia and Entertainment Studios in beautiful San Diego, Southern California, Tiger Palafox. John Bagnasco, I'm Bryan Main. Thank you so much. Questions, comments now starting to come in a lot more and at a heavier rate here on Facebook Live, Tiger.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and burn through some of these questions with Sue Krause and Moosa Creek Nursery. Sue, one of the first questions that we saw from a listener on Facebook was, are natives deer resistant? What's your take on that?
So, there are many types of native plants, and some of those are not going to be attractive to deer at all, and some of those are going to be gourmet food for deer. So I would say that ceanothus, the wild lilac, that can be attacked by deer, but for the most part, where your plants are got a drier, harder, more leathery leaf, they are not so attractive to the deer. So it does vary by area and by species.
Yeah, and, for those people, I mean, if deer are native to your region, then you're going to have plants in that region that need to feed the deer. But that's a good thing to do is if you find out what the deer like, you plant some of those around your yard. Hopefully they'll stay away from the plants that you want to protect to some degree, right?
Or maybe plant those in your neighbor's yard.
Yeah, or your neighbor's yard. Exactly. Throw some seeds over the fence. And then, John, there was a specific plant question for Sue. Can you read that one?
Well, it was Patty in San Marcos said that she's looking for Malacathamnus fremontii.
Are you familiar with that plant, Sue?
Yeah. I'm not particularly familiar with that particular bushmallow. That grows at higher elevations and a little further north. And so in San Marcos in Southern California, you would more likely naturally find growing the densiflora or the fascicularis, the chaparral mallow, and they might be more suitable for yards down here. The fremontii is a higher elevation mallow and further north. And, of course, at Moosa Creek Nursery, we like to try and grow the plants that are really well-suited for our area down here.
I think that I know that the fremontii is a nectar source for some butterflies and also orioles. And I wonder, would that be true of the other ones that you just mentioned?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm just the fascicularis would be a good choice for hosting butterflies.
And you bring up a good point, Sue, that we might have similar plants in different regions, but some are specifically acclimated for a high mountain area, a desert area, or a lowland area. They're similar. They might serve the right purpose.
California is a huge state, right?
Yeah.
And so if somebody says, what's the weather like in California?
Yeah.
Which weather?
Yeah.
But they do provide food sources for birds or bees or hummingbird or butterflies across, because they migrate through the whole area that they, as they're going, they need those food sources, but the plants are similar. Which kind of, I wanted to ask you, Sue, about California poppies. It's our native flower here. You kind of see them grow everywhere. We talked about the super bloom last year after the wonderful rain that we had. If somebody wanted to go out and had a canyon or had an area and they wanted to have California poppies begin to grow, what would be the best way to do that? And we only have about 2 minutes left to say this, so if you can fit it in that time, that'd be great. Sorry.
Yeah, we had a wonderful super bloom, and the poppy is iconic. What's important is that we're always planting what is appropriate in the canyons, and nothing that is invasive. And so the ideal time to scatter those poppy seeds is in the fall, not in the spring. So ideally wait for a light rain where the soil is damp, and where you'll forecast more light rain, just rake the surface lightly, sprinkle the seed, almost no cover, and then wait for that light rain. By planting in the fall, sowing the seed in the fall, the poppies have time to establish a nice long taproot. They'll actually survive the summer and flower again the following year. If you sow too late in the spring, that taproot does not have time to establish, and it will just be an annual.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Well, lots of good information.
Yeah.
And as John mentioned, on their website, moosacreeknursery.com, wonderful blog with a lot more great information and plants that you can order and get shipped. Thank you very much for joining us this weekend, Sue. Hope you have a great rest of the weekend, and hopefully everything goes safe out there where you're at. I know it's fire season, so be careful.
It was a pleasure talking with you, and happy gardening.
All right.
Thank you,
Take care.
Sue. Do appreciate it. You know, Tiger brings up a great point. The last couple of 2 or 3 days here in San Diego, with the Santa Ana winds and the humidity being, like you said, John, 2%.
Right.
I think that SDG&E, our power company, shut off power to the East County.
They did, yeah. As a matter of fact, I guess we could have asked Sue this, but I work with someone who lives in Valley Center, where Sue is, and they said that their power was shut off.
Yeah. It's a safeguard because of some things that have happened the past few years. You know what? Let's be careful this year.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what's happening here in San Diego in terms of weather. It's still very warm in the afternoon, low humidity, but at night now it's cooling off. So this would be a time to really watch your plants too, because they're going to get dried out during the daytime. But at nighttime, John, as you mentioned, we're very cool.
You know, and Tiger brought up a good point too about planting natives. Is that you really need to know what the soils are like in your particular area. And because Tiger and I were talking during the break, when we were in England, we saw a lot of California natives, like ceanothus everywhere.
Yeah.
And you would think that would be the last place to see
They would
California
just rot
natives.
out. I mean, they get so much cool weather and rain, you wouldn't believe it.
But we do have varieties that are coastal varieties of ceanothus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've got Northern California where it's cool and moist all the time.
Yeah.
So it just depends.
But as you mentioned the soil too, they had very well draining soil there. So
in a lot of parts, right.
In England, and so because of that, they were able to do that.
Hey, that's going to do it for hour number 1. We're going to take a break. For those on Biz Talk Radio hearing this show at its time, pre-recorded, we're going to get news to you. In other aspects of what we're doing right now, we're going to take a Facebook Live break. We should be hopefully returning at 6 minutes after. So stay with us. This is Garden America, Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, back with Facebook Live. Do stay with us. Hour 2 coming up.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Hi, this is Bryan, Maine, inviting you to join me, along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox, for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases including Zika and West Nile virus, but Summit mosquito dunks kill mosquitoes before they're old enough to bite. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, or wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers, hardware stores, and online retailers. Visit SummitResponsibleSolutions.com.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases including Zika and West Nile virus, but Summit mosquito dunks kill mosquitoes before they're old enough to bite. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, or wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers, hardware stores, and online retailers. Visit SummitResponsibleSolutions.com.
And thank you so much for being right there, hanging in there with us as we approach hour number 2 here. In fact, we're in hour number 2 right now, Facebook Live. Thank you so much. Those listening on Biz Talk Radio. And again, we are back on this weekend. Hope it's been a good one for you. Those of you back east, we say good afternoon to you. I'm Bryan, Maine, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. The usual crew, the varsity team, your garden buddies, and we had a good first hour learning about native plants, Tiger.
Yeah, that was really a good talk about how to plant the native plant.
How to plant them, yeah.
And, digging the hole, filling it with water, making your area saturated before you plant, and then kind of letting it dry out in between water. Because a lot of people will put their sprinkler system on like every day, after they plant something new. And for a native plant, they need that dry out period.
Right.
Otherwise, they'll begin to rot and they have
and a
root
good
problems.
tip about making sure your soil is moist, watering it heavy before you plant.
Yep.
Or else it's just going to be dry.
I went to the Moosa Creek Nursery website, and I have to tell you, I'm a little bit excited about picking out some natives.
For you, you have to be excited because you have a blank slate and you can put some really fun stuff in
You know
there.
what? That's where I really admire his situation.
Yeah.
It totally blank. Do what you want. Have you drawn out schematics or anything?
No, because I still haven't come to the full realization that I can plant my roses plus something else.
Wow. Now, are all the roses, is there going to be a dedicated area for roses only?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but
Do you have deer, do you think? Because you
I
would
only
want to
have
fence...
one. She's living in the trailer with me.
Because you would probably want to fence in an area, right, if you had that problem?
You know, so far I've had I have rabbits and ground squirrels that are a big problem, but I have not seen any deer.
Well, if you plant those roses, they're going to show up, I think.
Well, but they're all in containers right now. You know,
Right.
I've got 1,000 roses sitting there in containers and nothing's eating them.
Okay.
No, that's good. No, that's really good because if you had deer, they'd be stripped of every bit of
they would.
foliage for sure,
Absolutely.
real quick, right?
Now, besides roses, what else do they like? What's another plant that deers like to feast on?
Well, what's funny is that even deer and rabbits, there are plants that they will say they won't eat. Maybe a salvia,
but they do.
Different things. But they'll always eat new tender foliage. So they love that new tender foliage. So if anything simulates that new tender foliage, plant-wise, a deer or rabbit are going to go after it because, I've seen it online where like, oh, no, deer don't eat this. But meanwhile, somebody plants it. Boom, gone.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think a general rule of thumb, Sue was mentioning that if the leaves are hard or thorny, they're pretty much going to avoid those types of plants. But like Tiger says, even plants with hard leaves, when they first come out, they're
tender.
Oh, it's nice, like veal.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. And then the other thing that they say is a fuzzy texture to the foliage and also a high fragrance, lavender, rosemary.
Well, that one I think would attract them to begin with anyway.
No, they don't eat those.
But they don't?
They don't.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they say, lavender, rosemary, salvias because they have that fuzzy texture to the foliage and they also have that real potent fragrance to the foliage. They usually stay away, but I've seen them eat salvia before.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask both of you this. Would it be wise, like let's say in John's situation, he's got roses out there.
Mm-hmm.
So far, no problems with the deers, but maybe.
Right.
So the plants that you were just talking about that they supposedly don't like, would it be a good idea to plant those around roses as a kind of a semi-barrier maybe?
For me, John is living on the edge day by day.
He is.
to have 1,000 roses out there in a
just asking for trouble
in a rural environment where you have creatures, critters, all this stuff. You're just asking for them to just stumble upon it and find it. And I mean, for John, I'm going to give him a heart attack here. He's going to just leave the show and go home right now. I mean, he has a rose that it's the only one left in the United States or, left in the world or something like that. And like to take the chance of a critter roaming through there and then just decimating them is very scary to me.
Have you thought about like they do in New York in places that are cramped, maybe rooftop gardening? Put your roses up there, John.
Well, first I need a roof.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
The Tiger just mentioned a potential problem, but then I double the problem when I do plant it because then there's gophers.
Yes, that's true too.
Right now, no gopher problems.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the gophers.
You have not seen a gopher?
Well, no, they're all in cans.
They're in cans.
Yeah, but I mean just in general.
Oh, yeah, there's
everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right.
The game Whack-A-Mole?
Mm-hmm.
It's his life.
That would be my life. Patty mentions that she's had some daylilies disappear.
Oh.
Now, daylilies would be something that I think deer would love.
Well, that says open buffet.
Oh, right.
There.
Because daylilies are edible for humans.
Yeah.
The daylily roots are eaten.
What about night lilies? Night lilies. What about them?
No problem with night lilies
good.
now.
Okay.
I got in the species daylily that I was telling you guys about that's supposed to get 7 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
The bloom. And it came and it was this little dried up thing that was so discouraging, but I babied it along, and it's now actively growing.
Nice.
So I can't wait to see how that does.
And you still suggest that I transplant those queen palms into a bigger pot? They're doing quite well. I'm afraid to touch them.
Well, they're not in the pot I gave you.
Yeah,
right?
they are. And you know what? The one's about 15 feet tall right now. It's already above the balcony above us.
No, you definitely need to put them in.
It's probably so stretched.
I will.
And now's the time of year to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, maybe that's a weekend project I can do. I've got a great pot for it.
You know, now's the time of year to plant everything except tropicals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In the warm areas. You know, you were mentioning other areas of the Southwest. In Phoenix and Tucson, right now is the first of spring for them.
Yeah, you're so right. It's so funny.
Their main planting and growing season is the winter because come our spring, they're getting ready to dry out and everything is just stops growing, period.
You know, if we think about it, you know, their nighttime temperatures drop real low. But for the next, 6 months, they're going to have beautiful weather.
Oh, it's going to be nice. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, that's so funny. Yeah, this is their spring.
Yeah. Kathy in Neyland pointed out that the deer love the roses and don't care about the thorns.
No.
On roses, that's true.
That is
but I'm
true.
thinking other plants like maybe pyracantha, barberries, things like that.
You know, the roses are actually, people look at them, and I know people get concerned with working with roses and they wear the gloves and stuff, but they're actually really easy to work with thorns. Pyracantha, bougainvillea, you know, the berberis, those are not easy. I don't care who you are or what you're working with.
I don't know about your comment about the roses and thorns, because I work with them every single day. And I've gotten to the point where I have to have a pair of tweezers that I keep out in my work area with my pruning shears.
You cut the ends of the thorns?
No,
to
plucks
pull
them out
the
of his hand.
Pull the thorns out of my fingers.
Oh, you big baby. No, but John brings up a good point, because you know how compact my patio is.
Yeah.
And I'll try to maneuver around to get to a rose or something, and a rose will grab me by my shirt and almost pull me back.
Seymour.
And they think it's funny.
Well, the problem is...
Get over here.
The problem that I have growing everything in containers is that weed seeds still blow in the containers.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So I have to reach into the container, like you're talking about, Brian, and pull the... That's where I get all the thorns.
Yeah, I've got the same thing with the weeds in my pots as well.
Lenore said that I could put fences around my house.
Yeah.
And that is actually in the grand plan, the master plan.
Just to have a really good secure fence.
To have a fence down the side of the property, and then I'm going to plant tea roses on my side of the fence. So you'll never see the fence, but there will be a barrier there. And if something wants to eat the roses on the other side of the fence, that's fine.
Yeah.
Go have at it, right?
Yeah.
And to make sure on the top of your fence you put little shards of broken glass, and that's another nice barrier to keep people out of your yard.
Oh my goodness.
What else you got? You keep looking down like you've got email questions, do you?
Well, that was Lenore's.
So John at gardenamerica.com. If you're not on Facebook, or if you want to post a question, Facebook is your best bet right there with people.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, you've got a couple of minutes until the break.
If you're not on Facebook,
how would you know?
You can't send me an email.
No, but you know what? Here's the thing: you never know how or where people are listening. People, they used to have that. What was that show? Kids Say the Darndest Things, which I think.
Oh yeah, they still have it.
They're bringing that back. That was Art Linkletter back in the '60s. But that said, I totally lost my train of thought, so forget it. I was going to have a nice segue into that. Anyway, it is 60 minutes after the hour. We got a break coming up here. And again, questions, comments right there on Facebook Live. And again, Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. What is on your mind? What do you want to know? Getting into the fall season here, broadcasting live from the iHeartMedia studios here in San Diego. Great weather, but again, getting cool at night, so do be advised of that. We're going to step aside, take a break. Garden America coming right back. Do stay with us.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases including Zika and West Nile virus, but Summit Mosquito Dunks kill mosquitoes before they're old enough to bite. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, or wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers, hardware stores, and online retailers. Visit SummitResponsibleSolutions.com.
Hi, this is Bryan, Maine, inviting you to join me, along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox, for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping-off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Did you know that there's a whole other side to the Taco Bell menu? A vegetarian side, where you can get a vegetarian version of any of your favorite items like the black bean crunch wrap or the black bean quesarito. You're going to kick yourself for not knowing about all the delicious vegetarian possibilities sooner. And when you see for yourself just how many melty, crunchy vegetarian options there are, you're going to start to wonder, am I a vegetarian? Discover your inner vegetarian and rediscover all your favorites with the vegetarian menu at Taco Bell.
Hey, I'm Wednesday. When people see me, they're like, woohoo, we made it. And I'm thinking, you're only halfway? But maybe they're so excited because every Wednesday a 6-inch turkey breast sub is just $3.99 at Subway restaurants. With the sub of the day, it's a different 6-inch sub each day for just $3.99. So go ahead and woohoo all you want. You're totally halfway to somewhere. Subway, make it what you want. At participating restaurants, additional charge for extras plus applicable tax. No additional discounts or coupons may be applied.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Join Judson in Extra 1360 at Bootlegger in downtown this Saturday from noon to 2.
Mission Federal Credit Union presents Class Acts. Mission Fed knows that local schools sometimes need a helping hand for items like books, learning materials, or arts and crafts. Items teachers need to create a positive learning environment for young students. Each week, Mission Fed and Pablo from Jammin' 95.7 visit a new classroom to present them with a $250 Visa gift card they can use for items they really need. If you're a teacher or know of one who can use a little extra love, email us at communications@sdcoe.net and submit your request to become a Class Act.
We are back here on Facebook Live, also Biz Talk Radio. Thank you so much for joining us, along with Tiger Palafox, Bryan, Maine, John Bagnasco. First hour with Sue from Moosa Creek Nursery talking about natives. Whatever you want to talk about, John at gardenamerica.com. Best bet right there. I want to get something answered rather quickly on Facebook Live. Anything new that you're seeing, John? Are we all caught up?
Oh, I was looking at Better Homes and Gardens site that had the top 14 California natives.
Oh, well, really? Why don't you give us a list of that?
Well, number one was the Matilaha poppy.
Love that one.
Yeah.
Which
Tiger's favorite.
Yeah. Definitely on my top list.
But it's a hard plant to get, right?
No.
No? Now you can get them?
Oh, all over the place. Moosa Creek Nursery has them all the time now.
Really?
Yeah.
when I was growing up.
Yeah, it was hard to get.
Yeah, because I was in Michigan. But when I moved to California and got in the nursery business, they were still hard to get because no one could propagate them. Yeah, the seeds would only germinate if you. Back then, to get them, they would put them in a flat and build a fire over them. Yeah. But I think now they've learned with smoke and with to germinate seeds, right?
Yeah, I don't know how they do it, but
and then
much easier.
They can do root cuttings and things like that.
And you know the crazy thing about that plant, and there are a lot of natives like this.
And now would be the time to plant those.
It would be an excellent time, but people make a lot of mistakes because what they'll do is they'll plant that, and it'll kind of we'll say die, because sometimes they don't transplant well.
Right.
Sometimes plants don't transplant well, and Matilha poppy is one of those that don't always transplant well.
It's like a bougainvillea. Try to transplant one of those.
But the thing about the Matilha poppy is that it will die. It will literally just go back to the ground. But in the spring, you'll see new foliage emerge just from the roots.
Just like a perennial.
It's a resurrection. It's a resurrection.
It really
plant.
is.
Yeah.
And so I tell people with the Matilha poppy that if you see it die, just set it there. Don't worry about it.
Let it run its course.
And let it run its course, because in the spring you'll see it and it'll just emerge and you'll be amazed.
So the wrong thing to do would be to go out and fertilize and water it.
Don't do that.
Let it do its
Yeah.
Otherwise, it may not come back.
Yeah. Now would definitely be the time to put those in, and they're great on slopes. Because they spread so fast. So I've got slopes at my house. I think I'm going to put in one of those. Another plant was the Toyon, the California holly.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, a great plant, a great ornamental plant because it's got the holly berries, right?
Yep. Great barrier.
Right. Holly Berry Jones, that's an actress.
See what he did?
Halle Berry.
Great barrier with the berries and Halle Berry and everything's coming up berries.
Lemonade berry is another plant.
Coffee berry.
Coffee. I lost my sight.
Lemonade berry and coffee. Is it coffee berry? There's another one that's.
Is that a rus?
I think, yeah.
Rus integrifolia is the lemonade berry.
But then there's the coffee berry.
There is a coffee berry. Yeah, I think so, right?
I don't know. There's one that's coffee something.
If somebody knows, though, let us know on Facebook.
Yeah.
Go ahead, let us know what we're saying wrong.
There's
California fuchsias.
Ooh, those are pretty. If you want color, incorporate that red, orangish, tubular flower. Great for hummingbirds and butterflies and things like that.
And Dudleya's was another one.
That's a little succulent.
Yeah, and I noticed that the Dudleya's, because there's a lot of native Dudleyas growing around my house, as you take your little nature walks. I noticed they're all dry this time of year. They're all like balled up. Talk about resurrection plants. And as soon as the water comes, they'll soak up that water and leaf back out.
They just found a new Dudley. I think a couple years ago, we had a person on the show that was part of the research down in Baja.
New discovery?
And it was a Dudley, and they named it Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, I remember that.
You remember that?
Exactly, yeah. Jimi. Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah. Manzanita's another plant for them.
Those are tough, though.
They're not as good in Southern California as they are in Northern California.
Are they easier there?
Yeah, they like the cooler weather.
Because those are tough.
Not so much, the heat. Yeah. And then another one of their top 14 was San Miguel Island buckwheat. I don't really know that plant.
Oh, it's got this kind of pinky red flower, right?
Yeah.
And the foliage is red, the stems are red, and the foliage is green, if I remember correctly, too. And the thing about that, they look good when they're in bloom. They look, I feel they look terrible when they're out, because it's just dried, and like when they're done,
right?
I just don't like the look of the plant.
Mimulus was another plant.
Monkey flower.
Right.
There's a lot. Yeah. There are mimulus that are native to the desert, and then there are mimulus native to like a wetland.
But
you know what I mean? Like,
talk
about a plant that crosses the extremes.
But it's not. Is it the same plant or an offshoot?
Same
of the
genus.
Species? Same genus.
Same genus, but different species.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Wow.
You can have it growing in the middle of the desert somewhere, and then another mimulus is sitting in a bog somewhere, just growing out.
So where's it getting its nutrients from in the desert? How does it survive?
It's native plants, man.
Do you know that desert soils are
richest? Some of the richest soils.
The richest soils.
Oh yeah, you were saying that because it doesn't rain.
It doesn't rain, doesn't leach out.
Nothing is leached out.
And the worst soils are tropical soils.
Because everything is leached
gone.
out and dried, damp, and
yeah, that's why they keep burning the rainforest, because they'll burn the rainforest, they'll plant crops, and in 2 or 3 years, there's nothing left in the soil because the soils are so bad. So they burn another area.
That's real good thinking.
Hey, so I have a funny story if we don't have a question.
We got a few minutes. Go ahead.
John, you'll appreciate this. So at my daughter's school, they're putting in a new field, a real grass field, which is kind of rare for schools. They're always doing
not fake grass.
Yeah, they're always doing synthetic turf.
Okay.
But it's a school district and they have their policies and procedures. So they dug out this area that was pavement and they prepped it. They put the drainage in. They put the piping in. They came in and they dropped in what I could see was about a foot of soil, brand new soil that was shipped in here. They put in there, right? They did a soil test, and I believe that it was too high in calcium. For whatever for the lawn, they felt it was too high for calcium. So they're like, okay, well, we'll leach it. We'll water it, and we'll leach it. Well, it's San Diego water, which is not great water at all.
Oh, my gosh.
It actually came back higher in calcium after they tried to do that.
They just put it right back in again.
Calcium is positive ion and does not leach through the soil.
No, so it's just funny, but I mean,
they should know what they're doing.
Well, aside from knowing what they're doing,
did they test the soil before they actually got the soil?
Well, that's the thing is, right? Did they test it at where they got the soil from?
Exactly.
Or was it something where they put the soil that made it?
The simple solution to that is just add sulfur and they're okay.
And that's what they're going to try to do is to try to, drop some products in there to neutralize it. But, it's just, in the classic government school district way, this was a project that started in the beginning of the summer, and now the school has been in for 2 months and still is not
right.
done yet. You know what I mean? It's just
it's the same old story over and over again.
We do have a question from Jan.
You know what? We're going to hold that question because I see the question. We've got a break coming up.
All right.
That's a great tease after the
break. We're
break.
going to talk about hollies when we come back.
That's right.
Then.
Janice, thank you so much posting a question on Facebook, and we would encourage you to do the same thing. Question, comment, just like Janice on Facebook. We're going to respond to her question immediately after the break. We'll do the same for you, too. Thank you for supporting us. Bryan, Maine, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. Also, guys, we should mention the trip, too, when we come back at some point in time for that big trip to Europe in 2020. We're approaching 30 minutes after the hour. Garden America taking a break, coming right back with you.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Hi, this is Bryan, Maine, inviting you to join me, along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox, for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia, Austria, and Prague. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping-off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Roses, flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases including Zika and West Nile virus, but Summit mosquito dunks kill mosquitoes before they're old enough to bite. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, or wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers, hardware stores, and online retailers. Visit SummitResponsibleSolutions.com.
Guys, waking up over and over to pee is not okay. But now, you can reduce those nighttime bathroom trips with the ingredients in Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced. We're talking about less urges to pee at night, less bathroom trips during the day, and better bladder emptying. It's like taking 3 prostate supplements in one. You can try a full 30-day bottle of P3 Advanced, free. Just pay shipping and handling. No strings attached, no obligations, and no commitments to buy. This is a 30-day supply, absolutely free. Call 1-800-394-5793. Super Beta Prostate is the best-selling brand in major retailers like Walmart. But for this no strings attached free bottle, you must call now. Call 1-800-394-5793. Don't miss out on this unprecedented free offer. Call 1-800-394-5793. 1-800-394-5793.
Is your business still advertising in magazines and mailers? Stop throwing away your money and advertise where it matters, in the back of rideshare cars that everyone uses. Surf puts entertainment tablets in those cars so the next time a passenger gets in, the first thing they see is your business while also jamming out to their favorite artists, songs, or podcast, all from iHeartRadio. Get started today at ridewithsurf.com/radio. That's ridewithsurf.com/radio to promote your business in rideshare cars everywhere.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases including Zika and West Nile virus, but Summit mosquito dunks kill mosquitoes before they're old enough to bite. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any stand larva for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, or wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers, hardware stores, and online retailers. Visit SummitResponsibleSolutions.com.
And we are back. It is, yes, indeed, your buddies here, Garden Buddies, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox. I'm Bryan Main. It is Garden America, and again, thank you so much. Broadcasting live here from San Diego, the iHeart Media and Entertainment Studios. Facebook Live, questions, comments, and just before the break, we noticed a question from Janice. Tiger?
No, John.
Or John. Sorry, John, you got the question. Go ahead.
Well, Jan was asking, do most hollies need a pollinator to get berries? And that's a great question. And Ilex aquifolium, which is the English holly, they all need pollinators because you have dioecious plants. They're male and female.
Right.
And only female plants will have berries. So if you put in male holly plants, they will never have berries on them.
You'd think the males would have berries.
No.
Different situation.
It's only the females that get the berries, Brian.
Okay.
So, and you only need one male plant for about 10 female plants.
That's like your old lifestyle.
So, Ilex aquifolium, that's true. Ilex cornuta, which are the Chinese hollies, are usually self-fertile. And most Ilex cornutas or crenatas do very well in California. So I think there's a variety called Dazzler, which has got really holly-like leaves and plenty of berries. And then the one we were talking about, the California holly, the Toyon, is self-fertile also.
Yeah, that one, that'll produce a lot of berries, and they get to a big bush.
That's a bigger bush. Yeah,
I was going to say, I don't think I've seen an ilex as big as the Toyon. It's a very large shrub.
Do you remember when we were in England?
Okay.
And we saw the English hollies that were like 20 feet, 30 feet
I don't
tall?
remember. No.
Yeah, they're trees in England. They're huge.
Okay. Yeah.
Not so big in California.
I was going to say, I've never seen it like that here.
American holly, which is not usually grown commercially, but American holly also makes a nice sized tree. But the Chinese hollies are all going to stay small.
Yeah.
On the American or the English hollies, Ilex aquifoliums, it used to be years ago the two varieties that you would see in nurseries were Blue Boy and Blue Girl. And so you would always want to make sure that you got at least one of each.
One of each, one Blue Boy for every 10 Blue Girls that you got.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I hope that answers Jen's question on the hollies.
That's known as the harem species. What else do we have going, John? Nobody likes to email you anymore. How does that make you feel?
No, it makes me feel really good.
You like it. John doesn't want to deal with it.
There's only one spot he has to look for questions.
Exactly. But again, if you want to post a question, Facebook, we're here for you.
Let me explain this to you one more time, Brian. Anybody who hears us live is on Facebook.
Exactly.
So there would be no reason to email me when you could just post your question there on Facebook.
However, even if we were off the air and they sent you an email, that question might get answered either during the week by you or you'd save it and bring it in and answer it.
Right, but I'd really rather not do that because that's a huge inconvenience.
We won't inconvenience you. We want to make sure that you have a nice, comfortable week ahead of you.
We'd hate for you to have to think about the show.
Yeah, don't think
Monday
about the show.
through Friday.
You know what? I can always, I'm being selfish there, right?
No, you're being funny. We know.
Because I can always forward that email to you or Tiger.
And it'll get answered immediately.
There you go.
I see. Every now and then we get messages during the week. And Tiger
I have to say that really Tiger is probably the best person to answer questions. He does a great job whenever we get an email question.
Well, especially trees. I know you default trees to Tiger.
Yeah, trees and landscaping.
Yeah, you see what he's doing, Tiger.
Yeah,
you know exactly what he's doing.
No, I'm serious. No. I'm serious. I admire a lot about Tiger. As a matter of fact.
But if you want to know the history and the genus and the Latin terms, that's John Bagnasco.
For sure.
Yeah, anything esoteric.
Yeah.
Let me know because I'm interested in it.
I would agree.
If you we have a 2-hour show, right? But after the show, we sometimes have a podcast.
Which we're doing today, yes.
Yeah. And if you stay on today, if you're interested, I think it's the first in a 3-part series.
Are we going to do
drip irrigation?
The irrigation.
Okay, so that's going to be today, podcast today, drip irrigation,
right.
3-part series.
I think so. I don't know if it covers the 3-part covers all irrigation or what.
We'll just keep doing it until we cover everything. But that's going to be after the show. So after this show's over, at the top of the hour, give us a couple of minutes to retool. And again, the podcast today starting on drip irrigation. And again, do want to remind people that all the podcasts and all the shows at our YouTube channel, you can fast forward. You don't have to listen to the commercials. But go to our YouTube channel, Garden America Radio, and please do subscribe. Now, that said, we've run some spots this morning, John, about our European trip. But I want you to talk about Europe in 2020 with Garden America.
Where are we going?
We're going to Prague. We're going to...
we're ending up in Prague.
Czech Republic.
And
Slovenia.
That's the capital.
In Slovenia.
Prague, right. We're going to start, though, in Slovenia.
We're going to start, so we're going to start.
Right, in the capital, Ljubljana, and going to Lake Bled.
You want to clear your throat? There you go.
Is that better?
Atta boy.
I get all choked up when I talk about these
do.
trips. Because I've been to Lake Bled before, and I think it's the most beautiful place on earth that I've ever visited. It's really exciting. Then we go, and we'll be in the Julian Alps for the International Wildflower Festival. We talked last week about how there were, it's either 60 or 80 species of wild orchids in the Julian Alps. I don't know if we'll see any or not. You never know what's going to be blooming that time of year.
But didn't we question these particular orchids, how they survive or grow in that area of the world? Didn't we talk about that?
We talked about how they were mostly terrestrial hardy orchids.
Right.
Maybe that's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
But I think that they're really cool. And we mentioned there were a lot of lady slipper orchids, but, you know, a lot of other things, too, that grow native up there. Hellebores, cyclamen.
Yeah.
Even a few species of roses.
Stop
it. The cool thing about the cyclamen is that I'm looking forward to seeing, because a lot of people don't always think of fragrance with cyclamen, but there's a lot of varieties that have really good fragrance as well.
Well, the species cyclamen are small flowers, too. They're little tiny plants. But, you know, if you get down there and put your nose in them, they're extremely fragrant.
Yeah.
And then we're going from there to Austria.
Wow.
And then, you know, all along we'll be doing touristy type things like beer and wine tastings. In Austria, we're going to visit the Royal Lippenzahner stud farms.
Right. Are they still studying him there?
You know that it might be a good idea to watch that movie before you go on the trip, The Miracle of the White Stallions, which was a Walt Disney movie, and one of the, I think maybe the only Walt Disney movie that was, you know, a true story type documentary thing. But the White Stallions almost disappeared during World War II.
You know, speaking of that, there was a documentary in the late 50s, and I want to say 1959, at Disney, and it was about lemmings, and how, remember, they showed the lemmings committing mass suicide and jumping off into the water.
I heard that wasn't true.
That's what I heard too, that they don't do that.
Right.
So I'm going to look into that.
It's only when you build a fire behind them.
Yeah, but I heard the same thing, that they don't commit mass suicide by jumping off a cliff.
And then we end up in Prague, which is the capital of the Czech Republic,
right,
which it's reputed to be one of the most beautiful cities in Europe. And we'll be visiting gardens, castle gardens and things during that whole time. So it's going to be packed with all kinds of things to trip, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
It will include a castle or two here and there?
Oh, plenty of castles.
Plenty of castles.
Yeah.
What's funny is that they don't call them castles there. They're just old houses.
An old home.
You know, we're all looking at it like, oh, that's a castle. No. It's just a winter home.
What about a White Castle? Will we see any White Castles?
No, you have to go to Detroit for those.
At the airplane exchange.
Right, exactly.
But when we arrive in Lake Bled, which will be the first 2 or 3 days, there's a lake there. In the center of the lake is an island with an old monastery on it. But in the mountain, right by the side of the lake, up on top, which we will probably visit, is a castle.
Probably go there. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
I'm not sure where we're going. Anyway, if you want to sign up, Bryan, go to earthboundexpeditions.com.
Right, earthboundexpeditions.com.
Right. And I don't know, is it on our website yet?
Can you throw
good
that
question.
link? Can you throw that link on our Facebook page, Tiger?
I'll do that.
So in earthboundexpeditions.com, when you go there, they have different parts of the world. Click on Europe. And when you click on Europe, you'll see the European trips, and the Garden America one is right there. Okay, got a break coming up, which means that after the break, it is our final segment on this Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon, depending upon where you are. So again, John at GardenAmerica.com, although he likes to discourage that. Your best bet, of course, we urge you to post your questions, your comments right there on our Facebook page. I'm Bryan Main, Tiger Palafox, John Bagnasco. Happy Saturday, happy weekend. Hope things are going well for you. Thank you for your support. We're going to take a break and come back. Garden America, happy weekend from all of us here, John, Bryan, and Tiger.
Hi, this is gardening expert Melinda Myers. Keeping the environment in mind, I recommend Milorganite slow-release nitrogen fertilizer for all your growing needs. From plants to people, active growth requires energy, nutrients, and a balanced diet. Nutrient-rich Milorganite feeds the soil and plants for up to 10 weeks. The non-burning, non-leaching formula provides a slow and consistent flow of nutrients. Trust the fertilizer, proven effective for over 90 years. Milorganite for better results. Visit Milorganite.com for a garden center near you.
Mosquitoes can transmit deadly diseases including Zika and West Nile virus, but Summit Mosquito Dunks kill mosquitoes before they're old enough to bite. Just float an organic mosquito dunk in ponds, bird baths, rain barrels, and any standing water to kill mosquito larvae for 30 days or longer. Don't worry, mosquito dunks won't harm people, pets, fish, or wildlife. Mosquito dunks are available at fine garden centers, hardware stores, and online retailers. Visit SummitResponsibleSolutions.com.
Looking for a safe and natural organic fertilizer for your yard and garden? Fertilome is now offering natural and organic fertilizers for all your fertilizing needs. Flowers, vegetables, herbs, fruit trees, palms, and more. Natural Guard organic fertilizers are a certified listed product for organic use and safe to use around your family and pets. Always read the label and ask for Natural Guard by Fertilome Organic Fertilizers at Dixie Line Lumber or your favorite independent nursery. Make your piece of the planet a healthier place to live by using Natural Guard by Fertilome.
Inviting you to join me, along with John Bagnasco and Tiger Palafox, for a springtime garden adventure to Slovenia. Our journey starts near the shores of Lake Bled, nestled in the lower Alps. Lake Bled is one of the prettiest spots on the planet. This is also our jumping-off point to explore valleys bursting with wildflowers inside the Julian Alps National Park, and so much more. For details and the complete itinerary, visit gardenamerica.com or earthboundexpeditions.com.
What's on the menu at your
Meat dinner?
There's nothing like making yourself a ham sandwich without the sandwich.
Deli meat dinner?
Now that's a charcuterie of sadness. Who needs bread or lettuce when you're having a
Deli meat dinner?
Or you can grab Taco Bell's new $5 Grande Nachos box while it's here. With double the seasoned beef, nacho cheese sauce, guacamole, pico de gallo, and a medium drink, nachos are now a meal. At participating locations for a limited time. Twice the amount of seasoned beef as compared to Nachos Bell Grande. Prices may vary. Tax extra.
Did you know that when you buy 5 cups of freshly brewed McCafe Premium app, you get the next one free? Think of it as your reward for all the times you held the door open for a stranger. Let someone or liked one of your aunt's posts on social media, even though you had no idea what she was talking about. So, cafe coffee with McCafe Rewards and keep the good going. McCafe, good is brewing. Valid at
Firm Save Big Sale. Save up to $400. Plus, get 0% APR for 6 years, 0 down, and 0 due at signing. It's as easy as sign, save, sleep. And get a free adjustable base with any purchase of $6.99. Don't wait. Your budget stretches further at Mattress Firm. Offer valid with qualifying purchase. Restrictions apply. Call 1-866-780-6220 for credit costs and terms. For new accounts, purchase APR is 29.99%. Subject to credit approval. Valid at participating locations only. For offer details, visit mattressfirm.com/sale.
Let's make love with Rebel. It's me, Rebel Wilson, and welcome to my hot little podcast brought to you by Match. And now, a guided meditation for all the lost daters out there. So just relax, close your eyes, not if you're driving, and things for someone. Exhale. No, I'm fine to just keep things casual. Oh God, I feel better already. So download Match now, unless you're driving. Try Match today.
Looking at 51 minutes after the hour, welcome Facebook Live, BizTalk Radio. We've got one more segment, I should say, and this is it. One segment. Questions, comments, posting on Facebook Live. That is our advice to you to get a answer. Again, questions, comments, Facebook. Yeah, in Europe, obviously, in
Going to
2020.
White Castles.
In White Castles, they don't call them castles; they call them old homes.
Tiger's looking forward to seeing some holly trees when he's over there.
Got a comment on Facebook Live.
He does.
Yeah, he's talking about a good spot up in, was it Sun Valley, to go get some natives? There's a nursery.
Theodore plant. I've bought plants from them before.
Theodore Payne Nursery.
Yeah.
In Sun Valley. He said Sun Valley, right?
Yeah, I'm what's the road? Is it 74? Highway 74 that goes through San Juan Capistrano.
Oh, so that would be, I'm thinking that would be just east of the 5 then, right? East of 5 heading north.
Yeah,
right. It's called the Theodore Payne Foundation.
Yeah.
That's where there's a nursery up there that's a really fun one to go to if you're in the area, called Tree of Life Nursery.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Tree of Life Nursery's the one I was thinking
Oh, is that
of.
it? Is that the one that you were thinking of?
Yeah. I've been to Theodore Payne too, but Tree of Life was the one that I was thinking of because
Pueblo.
The reason I went to Tree of Life was they sold Rosa minutifolia, which is the native rose in San Diego.
Oh.
That only existed in one area, and they went through and put in a housing development and wiped them all out.
Wow, really?
Yeah, but fortunately, it's also native down to Baja, and
and
they did save those before some of the plants before they were destroyed.
And it's funny because we talk about natives, and native, you can say native to California, native to San Diego,
Right,
native to Arizona. And they never never include Baja in the California in the sense of the natives, but I'm like, it's the same
thing.
It's the same thing. It's the same area. So we have a lot of the same native plants here as they have down there.
Just
and they
south
are
of the border.
They are native to our region.
Not as many boojums here as there is in Baja, though.
Boojum?
Yeah, John's a big boojum guy.
What's a boojum?
Oh my gosh, that's like the iconic plant for Baja.
The boojum.
Yeah, the boojum trees. Actually, I think they were discussed in Alice in Wonderland. I think Lewis Carroll wrote about boojums.
Really?
What is
I
a
don't recall
boojum
that.
tree?
Yeah, you've got to look it up. It's Boojum. I think the genus is Idria. It's a succulent plant, and
Perfect for Baja. It doesn't require much water.
right, and they're just amazing looking. There was, I had a comment here from Michael, and he said that, because we were talking about netafim before.
Oh, yeah.
He says we need to be aware that there's 2 different diameters of the quarter-inch tubing, and the tubing that has the emitters in line is a little smaller than the tubing that has the pre-installed emitters.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things to think about whenever you're working with those, because they come in different diameters, and different ones will work well with other ones, and you have to have specific parts, whether you're doing a cup length, a barbed cup length where you're inserting it inside, or whether you're doing a pressure cup length, which is connecting the pipe on the outside of it.
So he says it's hard to go from one type tubing to the other.
I have a solution for him.
You do?
Yeah, there's the inline couplings, because Netafim manufactured the inline coupling with 2 different barbs that allow you to connect to the 2 different size pipes or tubing. Yeah. Rainbird did.
This sounds like part of our podcast coming up.
Yeah, exactly. And, so if you listen, you're going to learn more. But Rainbird also did a similar in their inline couplings, but they're a little harder to work with on the thinner Netafim tubing. So Netafim tends to be more universal. Rainbird sticks to be more brand specific.
Well, he says if you use the barb connector that works for the tubing with the pre-installed emitters, it will not join the larger tubing well, and you'll wake up one morning to see a flood.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that there's a specific tubing for each size. So each end of the connector is a different diameter? Is that how that works?
Not each end, but in the barbed, there's 2 barbed parts of it in the barbed fitting. And one of them allows it to be connected to the smaller pipe, and one of it allows it to be connected to the larger pipe.
Uh-huh.
And so, but like I said, if you buy the Rainbird one, it's much more difficult to use. So so there is some brand specific, and you also have to know what you're working with. But yeah, there's a lot to think about, but you can do it. And it is scary because, as you mentioned, you run these lines for large periods of time, 45 minutes, 2 hours, that you don't want them coming apart, because then they will be running freely
all the time.
For that 45 minutes or 2 hours. And that
so bottom line is, when you come out to install it at my house, you'll know what you're doing.
You'll know what you're doing. Yeah. But we will be doing a podcast after the show about just what we're talking about here and much more, so stay tuned for that. As well, once we wrap up the show, give us a few minutes to get things rolling, and we'll get into that podcast.
Yeah.
Rick brought up another, since we were talking about California natives, he brought up another plant, the Fremontodendron.
Oh.
And that is also a plant that we saw in England.
We did.
Yeah.
You're so right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I think that's the one I was most surprised to see over there.
I could barely get those to grow here, so let alone over there. I was really shocked.
And yeah, it's called flannel bush, and it's another plant that you don't want to really rub the leaves.
Yeah.
The whole leaves feel like hard sandpaper.
Yeah.
At least with a thorny bush, you can kind of attempt to not get poked,
Yeah.
And then Lenore mentions that Steve Goto was at the Theodore Payne Foundation.
Doing a presentation?
Yeah, she said that she used to live nearby.
Oh.
Hey, guys, that's going to do it for this edition of the Garden America radio show. And as we mentioned, coming up in about 5 minutes or so, a live podcast here on Facebook Live, which, of course, we will record and upload that to the iHeart. If you don't have the app, you can download the app, or the newsletter will take you right to those podcasts as well. So wrapping up this show, again, coming up in a few minutes. The topic on the podcast, Tiger?
We're going to start off talking irrigation, and we're going to do multiple parts, but today we're going to talk about drip systems and soaker tubing.
Okay, that said, thank you so much for tuning in. For the entire crew, myself, Bryan Main, John Bagnasco, Tiger Palafox, thank you so much for being part of Garden America this week. We'll do it again next Saturday. And, of course, this show today replays BizTalk Radio. Coming up next in a few minutes, our podcast. Stay with us. This is Garden America.